Alright, so a few people have been asking for me to start doing more TNA reviews again. And really, the reason I haven't been doing TNA reviews as of late is because I really just haven't been entertained by it. I mean, don't get me wrong, TNA's been great and everything. I mean, their storylines make more sense, their wrestling's getting better, they're not doing as much stupid things, and we're seeing more fresh faces in the scene. It's just nothing really has been appealing to me. I don't really feel much of a connection with any of the wrestlers on there right now, and I don't know if that's so much TNA's fault for how awkwardly they've been booking everybody on their roster the last few years, or if it's just a personal thing. But either way, it's like I don't really care much about the storylines, and I don't really care much about what the superstars are doing on the show. But I can appreciate that TNA is actually doing different things, featuring different people, and they're starting to improve their product greatly. So here's just a couple of thoughts about TNA as of lately. Now, it seemed like the theme the last few weeks was have a random gimmick match every week. Now, I like gimmick matches and everything, but the ones TNA puts out on TV usually don't live up to expectation. In fact, they end up being like the worst gimmick matches of that type that we've ever seen. I'm one of the few people that's been interested in the Eric Young versus Angelina and Winter storyline. But once it gets to the ring, it just gets stupid because Eric Young, all he does is lock up with the referee for like 30 whole minutes straight. Like, it really gets old after a while. But I am happy that at that angle, I at least got Angelina and Winter on my TV, which we haven't seen them do much of anything as of late. Oh, by the way, real quick note here, no homo, but I remember back in the Beautiful People days, whenever Angelina and Velvet would make their entrance, I always liked Velvet's more, but Angelina seemed to have more curves and more of a figure. But now when you look at her, I don't know if it's just what she's wearing or if Winter just spanked her too many times, but it seems like she's gotten flat over the years. Now, Velvet Sky has been my favorite TNA knockout since she debuted, but it seems like she's going through the same thing now that what the Bella Twins were going through. It's like, once they won the championship, they were improving on their in-ring ability, they were getting better on the mic, and they were showing more heart. And then right after they lose the championship and they get demoted and barely appear on TV, it seems like whenever they're in the ring, they don't try as hard. And Velvet was really showing that in her match last week because she was botching all over the place, missing moves, and she just really looked disorganized and like she didn't belong in that match. It just kind of sucks for Velvet, but it seems like ever since Gail Kim won the Knockout Championship, TNA's been putting their focus more on the actual women's wrestling. Because first we got Mickie James, and now we get Victoria contending for the Knockouts Championship. It's been a couple years, I think, since Victoria's been in the championship hunt. And you know what? This is great for Victoria. She definitely deserves it. She's one of those overlooked veterans that's been there a long time that can still go, have good matches with pretty much anyone she's in the ring with. You know, we really don't know how much longer Victoria has left in her career. Maybe she's got a good 10 years left. Maybe she's got a good 5 years. Or maybe this could be her last year. We don't know. So it's great to see her get this push. She really deserves it. Now, someone asked this in my last TNA review. Why do I keep saying Bobby Roode is imitating Christian? Okay, I know Christian didn't invent the whole cocky heel that laughs at his own jokes, and I know Bobby Roode didn't just wake up one morning and say, you know, I really like the way Christian talks, I'm going to copy that guy. And I know that there was other heels before Christian that have done the same mannerisms. But it's just, that's what I see when I see Bobby Roode cut a promo on the mic. I mean, watch a Christian promo, watch a Bobby Roode promo. It's pretty much the same thing. He speaks in the same tone of voice, he uses the same mannerisms, and he kind of talks the same way. I'm not saying, oh, he's a copycat. He only wants to be just like Christian. Christian invented that form of mic skills. I'm just saying, that's what I see when Bobby Roode talks. Now tonight, TNA went to England, and the crowd was on fire the entire night. And really, when the crowd's that into the show, it actually makes me care a little bit more about what's going on in the ring. It's great to hear different reactions outside of the Impact Zone, because with the Impact Zone, it's just boring crowds that cheer the good guys, boo the bad guys, and everyone except the hot redheaded chick is just dead the entire night. Tonight, the crowd showed different reactions, booing the hell out of Crimson and Matt Morgan, and cheering Samoa Joe and Magnus. It seems like no matter what TNA does to Samoa Joe and how bad they try to bury him, the crowd still end up loving him no matter what. And it's great hearing that the casual fans are sick of Crimson and Matt Morgan. Hopefully that sends some kind of a message to TNA, even though it most likely won't. One thing I've wondered since Samoa Joe and Magnus got together is, why don't they have Douglas Williams with them? TNA already has some kind of a fetish with doing heel monster stables, so why not just put Douglas Williams in there? I mean, it makes sense because he's already a partner with Magnus, and it gives them more of an edge over Crimson and Matt Morgan. And I found it hilarious how Christy Hemme completely over-exaggerated the fact that Mark Haskins was from the UK, and yet they still booed him and shared Austin Aries instead. I think Mark Haskins still has that reputation of being the walking botch machine from Destination X, and he really didn't do anything in this match to try and erase that history. In fact, he added more to it by botching several moves in this match. It was nice that they showed a video package of him before the match started, because him, along with the other 20 guys that they signed to the X Division, haven't been on TV since they first debuted. So they gotta reintroduce him to the crowd again and remind us, yeah, this is the X Division. We also had the shocking return of Hulk Hogan. I mean, seriously, it's not bad enough that the crowd was chanting his name during the segment earlier, but then the announcers were saying throughout the entire night that, remember, Hulk Hogan, he's gonna be here later tonight. That's like if Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler just got done watching a 1-2-12 promo and they're like, wow, this is interesting. We don't know who this is. Oh, and by the way, stick around because Chris Jericho will be making his return tonight. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Why would you spoil your own show? I mean, I get they want a ratings boost and everything, but why would you spoil your own storyline despite how obvious it was? That's really the only thing I have to say about Hulk Hogan returning. I really don't care. I liked how the fans chanted boring when Eric Bischoff was talking. If only the Impact Zone could do this week in, week out, then that could get it through their heads that we don't care. So those are my thoughts on TNA as of late, and I think that TNA has definitely been getting a lot better. Tonight really flowed well. It showed that wrestling really is what TNA is best at, and they should definitely get out more. Crowds like this make watching Impact that much more entertaining. So I don't really know if I'll be doing TNA reviews on a weekly basis from now on, because while TNA has gotten better, there's only a few talents on there that I really care about, and I don't really have much input on anything else besides that, unless I go all in depth and nitpick at the smallest of details. That's pretty much all my thoughts on TNA as of lately. So this has been MTO More Reviews, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, the end.